Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Specifically Mass Effect 1 Legendary Edition. When we last left off, we had got ourselves a nice little introduction to the Mass Effect universe. Came across our ship for the first time. Uh, First alien. Come to find out they look kind of like bird people. Come to find out they shot at us the very first time we met. So we have a few issues with that whole thing. Once that initialness was over, we made our way to a world known as Eden Prime, one of the oldest and most important. A symbol saying humanity was capable of reaching beyond where we stood, and that it would work, and that it would matter. Come to find out that place was under attack, and by the time we got there, most of the damage had effectively been done. Managed to save a Marine, a few civilians. Finally work our way to the target, a beacon created by aliens an extremely long time ago. Apparently the beacon is very handsy in such a way as to force me to bear witness to its mysteries. Don't entirely understand it yet, but probably along the lines of Freddy Krueger's wet dreams. And now we're just in the process of dealing with that as we work our way up to the bridge slash cockpit. So if you folks like what you see and want to see more of me as we keep her going, give me a like, follow, subscribe here on YouTube or both. Drop a comment, check out some of the other playlists, share around some of the other playlists. Follow the links to my Twitch to get to my YouTube. Follow the links to my YouTube to get to my Twitch. Wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and get comfortable. Let's get into this. Time of recording is 12:10 a.m. Excuse me. Wednesday, April 17th, 2024. Would have been on at the point I'm normally on, folks, but for some reason I couldn't get a Mass Effect to start up for a few minutes. No idea as to why, but there you go. Recommend you folks also check out the playlists I've got of the Dishonored series. Recently finished Dishonored 2. We'll be adding Death of the Outsider at some point, but space them out a bit. Let me knock out one codex before we continue. Don't want these to build up too much. I mean, this is actually, if this is the one I think it is, this is actually perfect, based on what I was just speaking about.
50,000 years ago, the Protheans were the only spacefaring species in the galaxy. They vanished in a swift galactic extinction. Only the legacy of their empire remains. They are believed to have built the mass relays and the Citadel, which have allowed numerous species to explore and expand throughout the galaxy. Prothean ruins are found on worlds across the galaxy. While surprisingly intact for their age, functioning examples of Prothean paleotechnology are rare. Time and generations of looters have picked their dead cities and derelict stations clean. Some believe the Protheans meddled in the evolution of younger races. The Hanar homeworld of Kadje, for example, shows clear evidence of former Prothean occupation. The presence of a former Prothean observation post on Mars has caused a rebirth of interventionary evolutionists among humans. These individuals believe the god myths of ancient civilizations are misremembered encounters with aliens.
The ancient alien theorists would love this codex if they had lived to see the Mass Effect universe altogether. Say what? Protheans? And they were on Mars? What?
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. The crew could use some good news after what happened to Jenkins.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll definitely be missed. Obviously didn't get the chance to know him long, but he was still under my command.
Jenkins was a valuable part of this crew.
Part of me feels guilty over what happened. If Jenkins was still alive, I might not be here.
I don't see why you feel like that. What, because we lost him, we automatically gained you because of it? That's, what kind of karma is that? Is it possible? Sure. But I doubt it.
You're a good soldier, Williams. You belong on the Normandy.
Thanks, Commander. I appreciate that.
How you handling it after you, went through that whole thing with your
Things were
unit?
pretty rough down there. Are you okay?
I've seen friends die before. Comes with being a Marine. But to see my whole unit wiped out, and you never get used to seeing dead civilians. But things would have been a lot worse if you hadn't
Whoa.
shown up.
I need to go speak with Joker.
Goodbye, Commander.
I hate that. I hit a button to accept, and they made me accept. All right. This is another thing I forgot to mention. You'll get whenever you're back on the Normandy, if you end up using your Metagel, just step in here and you'll refill. That's another codex entry
Hey,
as well.
Commander.
Hold on, let me make sure that codex sticks. There we go.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. Part of me feels guilty over...
You're a good
Thanks,
soldier.
Commander.
Things were pretty rough.
I've seen friends die, and you never get used to seeing dead civilians. But things would have been a lot worse if you hadn't shown up.
Oh yeah, definitely would have been worse if you hadn't involved yourself either.
We couldn't have done it without you, Williams.
Thanks, Commander. I have to admit, I was a little worried about being assigned to the Normandy. It's nice when someone makes you feel welcome.
Well, I mean, nothing wrong with courtesy, but the whole worried about being assigned to the Normandy, don't see why. If you're here, you're here. I mean, only reason why I could see you being worried is living up to a position. Beyond that, you know, no real point in it. Again, helps to make have somebody make you feel welcome. But don't actively look for something like that. It will be nice, but not every spot's going to be accommodating. At the end of the day, it's always possible you're taking up somebody else's space. Somebody that mattered to somebody. It's not to say you don't, but at the end of the day, you don't get to know people and then just have somebody move into that spot after you lose them. And then it not be a little bit of something. It's just the way humans are. Maybe other races too, but that's just the way humans are. But you good
I
though.
think you're gonna fit in here just fine, Williams.
Thanks, Commander. Joker's waiting for you on the bridge, Commander.
Yep. Diotore, Diotore.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
Yes, actually. Interesting. Now here's my one issue. And they never did change it. These questions right here are going to be the same exact questions you can always ask her whenever she's right here throughout this entire game. I say that just to say, at least in the first game, there's no point in talking to her whenever she's here. Anywhere else, it'd be different, but not here.
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse. And the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Hard to argue with that logic, Doctor.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth. Or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
I can respect that. Especially doing what you do. You're kind of a trauma doctor. Not like psychological, I mean physical. You're kind of a trauma doctor. They're used to kind of seeing you deal with the blood and the pain that they deal with. It's obviously not two completely different fields, but it tends to give you a perspective standard doctors lack, just for the obvious fact of you might be standing there one moment or you might not the next be there the next. So what do you know about the captain?
What do you know about Captain Anderson?
I've served with him for a few tours now. He knows when to let things slide and when to crack the whip. The crew knows he's seen pretty much anything they'll ever run into. And he cares about the people under his command.
Well, you don't exactly command people to throw them into the meat grinder for no reason, as if they don't matter. You're kind of supposed to care about them. It's kind of why you're supposed to be trustable with command.
How well do you know the lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record. Over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
In L2, you say?
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
Huh. I'm assuming I've got L3s. What complications are you talking about,
What
Doctor?
kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Caden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
Well, damn. Yeah. Definitely luck.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Now, something to remember. As the game goes, your locker is up here. It even says it up at the top. As the game goes, this locker is going to close. And the only reason it closes is because I open it. And the only reason I open it is because there's always gear. Anytime you finish a mission and you end up back on Normandy, big or small, they might not all give you something, but check something. Check. The big ones will always give you something. The small ones, maybe. But the big ones will always give you something, so check. Sometimes the gear tends to be quite good. Banshee shotgun. Or scimitar shotgun. What was that? A Banshee assault rifle, yeah. Well, I have no use for most of this. I'll equip the hammer 1. Let Ashley take the hammer 2. But since that's the case, I'm gonna go ahead and be a little early. Take the elevator down, which is in the center of the ship. What button was it? Or can you even do it in this game? In the Normandy's vehicle bay, using a squad member's locker allows you to assign equipment to them. New equipment may be purchased from the requisitions officer. Yep. Alright. Nope, guess you can't. Was wondering if you could bring up a
Hey,
map.
Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
Sure.
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Not necessarily a bad thing as he charges me. So why am I paying for my stuff?
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
Interesting. I can respect that. So, what about these
What are
licenses?
Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products. I already have several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
What kinds of manufacturers do you
What do the
mean?
different manufacturers offer?
There are too many for me to keep track of, but each license will explain what it's good for.
No personal recommendations. No, these top 3 have been in the news lately. What the hell? So what about your new items, or how often will you be
How
getting
often
them?
will you get new items?
Well, that depends on how many licenses you've purchased, but I'll rotate items on a regular basis regardless. And anytime we land someplace with a big enough port, I'll buy, sell, and trade whatever I can. Check back often. I need to move items quickly, so only the most basic items will be stocked consistently.
Oh, show me.
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
And of course, we've got ourselves a nice barrage of gear, all of which are useful. Grenade upgrade, increase max number of grenades carried by 1 for 200. And metagel upgrade, increase max units of metagel by 1 for 200. And those are permanently passive, so they just work. They just are. M35 Mako. Then we go to the person's locker, which was the main reason we coming down here, and we check out their gear. Nope, you cannot check it on your own. You have to come down here. Yes, the whole thing. Yes, Tom. Every time. No need for the mister. Little Boondocks reference for you folks. Needless to say though, yeah, it does get kind of frustrating to have to come down here every time. But, I mean, hey, at least you can actually upgrade your people's gear, so, you know, I'll get over it. I got over it when it first came out. Yeah, you can take the toxic seals. Combat scanner 1 for the assault rifle. I'll give you the same thing. Actually. Let's give you anti-personnel rounds. And of course, he's a sentinel, so he has a biotic amp just like I do. But he also has a blue wire omni tool because he's a sentinel. Okay. We're done down here. Oh wait, actually no we're not. Say hello to the Tantalus Drive Core.
Shame about Jenkins.
Yes it is, my friend, yes it is. Another codex that explains these things. Good God, we are in trouble. One thing about this game in particular is real big on the exploration and codexes. Specifically in terms of where we're going right now. I'm not gonna lie to you, more than likely this episode is just gonna be spent running around that place. There's bound to be combat, but nothing like.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. Losing Jenkins was hard enough on the crew.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. More intense, but nothing like what we've already faced.
Good timing, Commander. I was just about to bring us into the Citadel. See that taxpayer money at work.
Damn, I forgot to do something. Ho hum.
Look at the size of that ship.
The Ascension, flagship of the Citadel fleet.
Well, size isn't everything.
Why so touchy, Joker?
I'm just saying you need firepower, too.
Look at that monster. Its main gun could rip through the barriers in any ship in the Alliance fleet.
Good thing it's on our side, then.
Citadel Control, this is SSV Normandy, requesting permission to land.
Stand by for clearance, Normandy. Clearance granted. You may begin your approach. Transferring you to an Alliance operator.
Roger, Alliance Tower. Normandy out.
Normandy, this is Alliance Tower. Please proceed to Dock 422.
This is an outrage! The Council would step in if the Geth attacked a Turian colony?
The Turians don't found colonies on the borders of the Terminus systems, Ambassador.
Humanity was well aware of the risks when you went into the Traverse.
What about Saren? You can't just ignore a rogue Spectre. I demand action!
You don't get to make demands of the Council, Ambassador.
Citadel Security is investigating your charges against Saren. We will discuss the CSEC findings at the hearing, not before.
Captain Anderson, I see you brought half your crew with you.
Just the ground team from Eden Prime, in case you had any questions.
I have the mission reports. I assume they're accurate?
They are. Sounds like you convinced the Council to give us an audience.
They were not happy about it. Saren's their top agent. They don't like him being accused of treason.
Well, I can respect them not liking him being accused of treason if he's their top agent. In terms of what we personally know cutscene-wise, we know him to be a problem. In terms of what we know word-of-mouth-wise, we know him somewhat to be a problem. But in the end, we can't really prove anything. We have a dock worker's word. Regardless of him being half asleep or drunk or whatever, we can't really prove anything. Sure, he said Saren killed him, but he said Saren killed him after we said his name was Saren. We don't have anything. But in the end, I hate how linear these choices are sometimes. I wish they actually gave you the words that you would be saying. But either way, one thing we can be certain of, at least, is that he is dangerous.
Saren's a threat to every human colony out there. He needs to be stopped. The Council has to listen to us.
Settle down, Commander. You've already done more than enough to jeopardize your candidacy for the Spectres. The mission on Eden Prime was a chance to prove you could get the job done. Instead, Nihilus ended up dead and the beacon was destroyed.
That's Saren's fault, not his.
Then we better hope the CSEC investigation turns up evidence to support our accusations. Otherwise, the Council might use this as an excuse to keep you out of the Spectres. Come with me, Captain. I want to go over a few things before the hearing. Shepard, you and the others can meet us at the Citadel Tower, top level. I'll make sure you have clearance to get in.
And that's why I hate politicians.
To an extent, Williams, you're right. And to other extents, politicians exist for reasons that are quite necessary. There was a few things I wanted to go over in that whole scene. Size of the Citadel was always impressive, so it always makes you wonder how they keep all the mass from flying apart. What was it? About the gun, I think it was. Alright, the whole why so touchy. Yeah. Men don't get touchy about our junk. Women get touchy about our junk and then make it a problem. In terms of the council, well, I mean, yeah, once again, you don't accuse somebody's top dog of doing something, and your only argument is, I swear, bro. And here's the words to prove it, okay? Words. This is the future. Holograms exist. I was just talking to 3 of them. People can lie. You can't really blame them for not trusting you. They did at least decide to hear us out. Whereas they could just as easily have ignored us, let that top dog roam around, and then potentially let another colony fall. Alliance Patrol Report. Captain Hendrickson reported some unusual energy readings during a patrol of the Argus Road cluster. She had particular concerns about the Hydra system, but was recalled before a team could investigate further. No patrols are scheduled for that sector. Do we want to send in the recon team? Now, check this out. You read that, got a journal entry, got a new mission. While in the Citadel, you uncovered an Alliance patrol report. One of the patrols mentioned some strange activity in the Argus Road cluster. Go to the Hydra system in the Argus Road cluster to investigate. Little spoilery, but we'll be journeying around space. The decryption skill is the reason why I was able to pick this mission up, but I didn't need the skill to get the mission. I only needed the skill to unlock it here. You can roam around and pick it up anyway. Some of these missions do require you to use the computers or other systems. Not all do. And we've met.
These allegations are very serious. I can't just... This is serious. My reputation is at stake. I spoke with the consort in confidence, and her alone.
Damn.
And she betrayed that confidence. All right. I will look into it for you. In the meantime, do not do anything rash.
Hold on. I think my audio might be a little low with these folks. And apparently we've got some hitching.
Big place.
I can't tell the aliens from the animals. Well, they've built themselves quite the lake. Wonder if anyone ever drowned in it.
Sure is peaceful here.
Setting aside known avenues of Ashley Williams, it's a little hard to disagree with that, especially when you end up seeing individuals like this. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, kind of much. That whole pool comment though, that's legit. You don't have water like that and then have people just not somehow, you know, slip and fall and end up with cement shoes.
Hello there, human. Sincere apology, but I am here on business and cannot be distracted right now.
I'm going to check the audio in terms of them here in a minute.
You seem distressed. Is there something I can do to help?
Alarmed response. You overheard that, did you? This is all going so wrong, and it is the Asari consort's fault. She's the one who started all this.
Okay. What specifically happened, and who is this consort?
Who's this Asari consort?
Curious, you have not heard. You must be new to the Citadel.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Sha'ira, the consort. I cannot speak more about this problem. It is too sensitive. Suffice it to say, she has compromised my authority as a diplomat.
So you... God, I hate that we do this. And it's biological nature. So you told her something that you shouldn't have ever let slip your mouth because potentially it can get people killed. But she was just oh so pretty and you just couldn't help yourself, huh? Uh-huh.
Where can I find this Asari consort?
She is across the bridge from here.
Wait.
Her offices are easy enough to spot. Good day, human.
Huh.
Strange greeting, human. This is really not...
You seem distressed.
Alarmed response. You
okay.
Heard that.
That was...
What did this Asari do to get you so upset?
I cannot speak more about this problem. It is too...
okay, so he says that part anyway. Oh, shit.
Her offices
yeah, whenever you finish them conversations, still hitting the X button, you you arm yourself. And in this game, you can still arm yourself, and it you know, it won't have effect on anyone around you. You can still, you know, shoot at each other and mess with each other's shields. Yeah, it doesn't hurt, obviously. But be careful, because there are some things you can do, like use grenades on yourself, that will overpower your defenses.
Pleased greeting. Human, it is always good to see your kind. I am Ambassador Kalen. Genuine query. Is there something I can do for you this day?
Nice meeting you too, man. You mind if I ask you about your speech patterns?
Why do you explain what you're about to say?
Our people communicate less through words and more through scent and slight movements. Plainly, we discovered our vocal expression was not enough to convey the feelings of our conversations to other species.
I can understand.
Why do you bother, Kalen? These Earth Clan don't really care about our ways.
Remorseful response, Jin. You don't truly believe that, and if you do, I am very sorry for you.
Well, you may feel that way, Din, but if I ask, I want to know. Period. So, what about the Elcor people, I guess?
Tell me more about your species.
Genuine enthusiasm. I delight in telling the history of my people. It is agreeable to share our culture with others.
Alright, well, break it down, man. Tell me about your history.
Tell me about the history and origins of the Elcor.
The Elcor were just beginning to explore Council space when the Asari first made contact with us. With their help, we discovered the relay closest to our system, and from there the Citadel. Proudly, within one lifetime we established a regular route to the Citadel, and quickly became one of the more active species living on this great station.
Not gonna lie, that is some history right there. That is some history. I forgot that. What about your people's culture?
I'd like to know more about the culture of the Elcor.
Frankly, we Elcor prefer the safety and familiarity of our own colonies to the confines of space travel. Our society is built on small, tight-knit groups. though we are always welcoming to outsiders. Our government tends to be very stable. Our people are not very comfortable with sudden changes.
Not very comfortable with sudden changes, huh? Interesting. So, you are an ambassador?
What do you do here?
Modestly, I work to bring the problems and the requests of the L-Corps groups to the attention of the Council.
Ha! They only give us these positions to keep us quiet. The Council doesn't care about our races.
Chastising rebuke. Your tone is inappropriate, Din. This human is not to blame for your malcontent or your misconceived suspicions.
Well, thank you. It's interesting.
Goodbye,
Oh, well.
Ambassador.
Gotta go.
Sincere farewell.
And of course,
Human. Enjoy your
as
time
you say,
on the Citadel.
we've got codexes. Again, some of the stuff they he spoke about is in the codex. Some isn't. Some of it is like linked. So what I mean by that is like, let me see. You have. Huh. Okay, you don't have it just yet. But what it is like, okay, like you have the council races, so like the Turians, right? Well, later you might see something on the same, about the same thing on the opposite side, where it's like Turian culture, Turian history, Turian conflicts, things like that. Turian medical practices. It's legitimately pretty cool. Little dude. I'll ignore your nonsense.
EarthClan, you are in the wrong place, I think. Your ambassador is next door in the large office.
Chastising remark. Don't be so rude, Din. At least introduce yourself.
I am Din Korlak, Volus ambassador. Is there something I can do for you, EarthClan?
Why do you keep calling me EarthClan? Not gonna lie, weirdly enough, I kinda like it.
What is this place?
You are in the embassy for the Volus and the L-Corps.
Your ambassador is next door, in his own office.
In this shared space, I aid my fellow Volus when I'm not being interrupted.
Damn. So y'all share a space? And we've got one on our own, huh? How long have y'all been here? Because we've effectively been here for something like, what, 20 years, give or take? First Contact War ended in 2157. That was when it started. 6, 7, 7, 7. Yeah, so it's 83. So to an extent, we've had access to the Citadel for a while. And I think one of those timelines that we read did actually state how much time we had. What about the Volus people?
I'd like to know more about the Volus.
I'm sure our history and culture would bore you, EarthClan.
What did I say a minute ago?
Actually, I would like to know more about your history.
My people came to the Citadel shortly after the Asari and Solarians had discovered it. We were instrumental in establishing a standardized galactic economy. However, despite our long association with the Citadel and our many contributions to galactic society, we still do not hold a seat on the Council.
You said about as long as the Asari have been here? Did they say how long the Asari have been here? What about your people's culture?
Tell me about Volus culture.
We are tribal by nature, but our ways are not violent. We barter and trade our lands and tribe members in order to increase status. Larger tribes often engulf smaller ones and eventually split again. Our society is very malleable, and our government is always shifting and changing.
Damn.
Since we're not physically adept, we trade our services for protection.
Interesting. So you're effectively the exact opposite of the Volus. The Volus can't deal with real change constantly, and y'all are constantly changing. Alright then. Sounds chaotic as hell. But I feel like that's just a normal day for y'all. It's just fine, weirdly enough.
What is it you do here?
I look out for the best interests of the Volus people. No easy task considering how often we are overlooked by the Council.
Chastising rebuke, Dan. The Council favors your species greatly.
You are naive. The Earth Clan will be invited to the Council long before our species will.
Not gonna lie, if you've been here for more than 200 years, like honestly, setting aside his feelings of, I don't know, could you really call it racism or could you just call it irritation? Not really liking the new kids on the block because they're outright like stealing, not necessarily stealing, but it's like, you've been here for centuries, you put in that work, you've established yourself. Like, how is it that the youngsters who ain't been here 30 years already have an embassy and their own embassy? You'd be a fool not to ignore it. So, what do you mean in terms of council admittance?
Why aren't the Volus or Elcor part of the council?
All species must prove themselves before they join the Council. All but the Earth Clans, it would seem.
Dismissive. Ignore the Volus ambassador, human. He is incorrect in his assessment.
Really? How long have we been waiting? How long do you think we'll continue to wait? Bah, this talk is wasted on the humans.
Again, you can't entirely blame the man for his frustration. Don't exactly accept him blaming us for his frustration. But I can see you being angry, frustrated, especially with the amount of time, and again, resources your people have put in versus mine. But it's also possible that council races, as it was stated by you earlier, you're not like a physical species. Council races may be required to be a physical species like that. Multifaceted. You are, but not overly combative. Not like that. It's extremely dangerous for you folks.
You seem to have a bit of a chip on your shoulder, Din.
You humans are new to the Citadel, and yet the Council has granted you great favor.
Chastising rebuke, Din. Your species has always been granted many concessions. Volus territory has expanded tenfold since coming to the Citadel.
Details. We still have no real say in the decisions that affect Citadel space.
Well, no offense, but neither do I, / we, but details, huh? So we're just gonna gloss right over that, huh? Alright, buddy. We'll leave that be. I guess I should go.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
Yes, yes. Good day, Earth Clan.
I should go. I should go. I should go. Do I really say it like that? Now, we don't need to speak to everybody, but I'll go ahead and talk to her, but you literally don't need to talk to everybody in this game. If you do, good God.
Good day, Commander. The human ambassador is up the stairs, first room on the right.
You know me.
You know who I am?
Yes, I receive reports on all newly arrived dignitaries and notable people.
You know, considering your location, it makes sense. It legitimately does make sense.
What is this place?
This is the Presidium. More specifically, you are at the Citadel embassies. If you have more questions, please access Savina.
Leave me be, Commander. Avina. Get him. Hurry up.
What's that?
Oh, Avina is the virtual guide for the Citadel. Feel free to access the terminal yourself.
Be gone. I'm working over here. I know your name. That's all I need to know.
What's your name? What do you do here?
My name is Safiria. I'm the administrative assistant for the embassies.
Not gonna lie, I like that name, Safiria. That is a pretty name.
You seem to be distracted.
The embassies are the hub of all Citadel politics. When you represent trillions of citizens, it tends to get a little busy.
Out my face, Avina's over there.
I should be going now.
Have a pleasant day.
And that's why we talk to people, children.
Allow me to be your guide.
There's power in conversation. And knowledge is power.
Greetings and welcome to the Presidium. My name is Avina, and I am pleased to be your virtual guide throughout this level of the Citadel space station.
Virtual. Huh?
So are you a person or a program?
I am a fully interactive virtual intelligence, programmed to provide spontaneous guidance at predetermined locations of interest throughout this level of the Citadel. I may also be contacted through any of the Presidium VI terminals, should you require assistance.
Okay, so what dumb smart tech?
Give me the tour.
You are standing at Presidium Tourism Terminal 1. On either side of this lobby are the embassies of the various Citadel races, along with CSEC headquarters. On the far end of this level, you can see the Citadel Tower, where the Council meets regularly to discuss matters of interstellar importance.
Damn. Already 47 minutes in.
I want to know more about Citadel security.
Citadel security serves as law enforcement for all regions of the Citadel, though the majority of officers serve in the wards. Executor Palin, a Turian, is the current head of CSEC, but individuals from virtually every species across Citadel space serve as officers beneath him. If you wish to learn more, Executor Palin's office is located in the CSEC headquarters just across the lobby.
Yeah, that is one thing I did want to warn you folks about in terms of me playing games. I'm not exactly a completionist or a 100%er, but I do like my details, and I do like to give y'all the details. So this is detailed. Yeah.
Tell me about the embassies.
Each species in Citadel space important enough to be consulted on matters of galactic politics maintains an embassy on the Presidium. The Volus were the first non-council species to be granted an embassy, roughly 2,384 galactic standard years ago.
Oh,
As
shit.
Citadel space has expanded, more embassies have been added. The most recently added embassy belongs to your own species, humanity. It was added 19 galactic standard years ago, despite some rather vocal opposition.
Excuse me, 19 years ago. It ain't even made it to college yet. I'll be salty too. Over 2,000 years? Yeah, I'll be salty too. By details literally just became literally by details. Why was humanity opposed?
Why were people trying to keep my species out?
Some species felt humanity was given preferential treatment. It often takes a century or more before a new species is granted an embassy. The Council gave a great deal of thought to this matter. In the end, they decided humanity's impact on Citadel space was significant enough to warrant an embassy.
There we go. There's the crux. Interesting though. Our impact was important enough. What in the hell did we do? We shot at Turians who shot at us. What did we do? We learned how to use technology, and then we shot at Turians that shot at us. Any thoughts on your own?
Do you agree with their decision?
I am not programmed to make that kind of qualified judgment. My code is limited to information and simple interaction simulations.
Damn straight. Why were the Volus first?
How come the Volus were the first species given an embassy?
In the early years following the formation of the Council, the Volus were, apart from the Asari and Solarians, the most populous and widespread species in Citadel space. They established many new colonies and trading outposts, and they petitioned the Council for a greater role in determining interstellar policy. In recognition of their work to expand interstellar trade and establish a standardized galactic economy, the Volus were granted an embassy here on the Citadel.
So they were the Mass Effect version of the banking clan without being separatists and potentially, like, I don't know if the banking clan like had a big hand in terms of building Star Wars' economy, but I'm assuming that they might have. But the Volus outright creating Citadel, like, standardized galactic currency, or rather economy, that is, they effectively laid the framework for everybody to be able to get paid in the galaxy. Universally. Like, how in the hell? And still, yep, okay. Yep, okay. We just happen to get one of those Volus who isn't particularly salty about it. He's just verbal. Damn. Just an embassy?
Why weren't they made a council race?
The Council races have extensive responsibilities. They must provide personnel and ships for the Citadel fleets. They also provide economic aid in times of disaster.
1 out of 3 problem solved.
It would be unfair to demand such an enormous burden of a species unable to meet these obligations. The embassies allow lesser species to have a voice on the Citadel.
Actually, 2 out of 4 problem solved. Ships and economics. But the personnel and combat capabilities, that is a different ball game. But it is, as I stated, you need to be able to smash if you want to be on the council. I can legit respect it, so long as that's actually stated and it's not something that people, you know, aren't aware of. But it's an interesting thing that you happen to have such a statement while you didn't have an opinion earlier.
That's pretty damn arrogant.
I apologize if my personality has offended you. Please submit all formal complaints in writing to the Citadel Tourist and Visitor Board.
Either that's you doing your thing or somebody programmed a little bit of bias into you. Little hard not to. People always do. It's just who we are. Spectres. What about them?
Do you know anything about specters?
The term Spectre is derived from the branch of Special Tactics and Reconnaissance. Each Spectre agent is handpicked by the Council. Their primary role is preserving galactic stability and resolving volatile situations that cannot be handled through normal political channels. In this role, they are granted extraterritorial rights and jurisdictions. Spectres answer to no law or authority except the Council itself.
So far, the details are spot on for what Jenkins was spitting. Where's the Citadel Council?
What can you tell me about the Citadel Council?
Originally,
well, there you go.
The Council consisted of representatives from the Asari and Solarians, the 2 dominant species in Citadel space.
Right.
Roughly 1,304 galactic standard years ago, Turians were invited to join the Council in recognition of the role they played during the Krogan Rebellion. Since then, the 3 Council races have worked together to ensure the peaceful coexistence of the galactic community, while preserving individual autonomy for each species.
Interesting. There's no way, it sounds too perfect. There's obviously gonna be holes. He knows there's gonna be holes. They know there's gonna be holes, but the overall goal is sound. But I'll say it.
It can't be as simple as that. There must be problems somewhere in the system.
I am not programmed to make that kind of qualified judgment. My code is limited to information and simple interaction simulations.
You better not be. At what time should my VI be telling me tactical advice when it's supposed to be a tour VI? You got me messed up.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, and thank you for using Avina. Please enjoy your visit to the Citadel.
We'll go up there at another point. There's just no point right now. Then of course we've got our Citadel Rapid Transit to travel quickly between major locations. As you explore the Citadel, more locations will unlock. Now, if memory serves, the way this system works, you can't just find it, you have to at least interact with it once. But once you do, you're good. Now, that would have taken me straight to the Citadel Tower. There's no point. There's a lot to do. I shit you not. And that's crazy. We literally spent that whole time in that one area. We'll be going there later.
I've had my office rearranged 5 times.
5 times? Why? What do they want?
How should I know? It's not like keepers offer an explanation for what they're doing.
Yet, everyone just lets them go on doing whatever it is they do.
What choice do we have? If you try to stop them, they just shut down and another one replaces it.
Just strange that we know so little about them.
Not to mention frustrating.
Extremely. And what you've just seen is what's known as a Solarian. That is what's known as a keeper. It's funny that you have this mechanic right here where it looks like you run faster. You don't. Oh, well, actually, I'm exhausted. Hold on. You might actually run faster now. We'll come back to this later. So we've got here what's known as a Hanar, another alien species, and should have said it earlier, but she's what's known as an Asari. We'll talk to them later. There's no real point. We'll talk to him later. There's no real point right now. Huh. I ended up coming around this area earlier than intended, and there's no real need to. So I'll go ahead and head on out. I guess if nothing else, I unlocked the fast travel points. Something else here, ain't it? Yes, here we go. This is what I wanted to remember. So, you see Miss Williams in her armor. Cute, right? Properly form-fitting for a man or a woman. Useful, right? But that's armor. Now, if I so chose to hit you in the chest with something so armor penetrating or armor crushing, you've now got 2 knots pointed inward to meat and bone. Now, that's obviously not what's there, but the point is, meat and bone as in the human body. Flesh. Good luck. That armor concept has always been weird to me. Even as a kid, it was weird to me. And I don't think it was done in the sense of...
What's it doing?
I don't think it was done in the sense of like... I didn't even hit anything. I don't even think it was done in terms of the male gaze. I think it was literally just weirdly done. Assuming, you know, why wouldn't you do it? But it's like, no. That's kind of one of the reasons why we, like, it's kind of best if the battlefields are, no offense to you ladies, but a woman-free zone for a reason. There are aspects that we both have problems with, regardless of whether the battlefield is a battlefield of blood or a battlefield of words.
The council isn't going to ask me any questions, are they?
I doubt it.
Probably.
We made our reports. Now we just have to trust Ambassador Udina.
No, we don't, sir.
You don't trust politicians, you trust politicians to be politicians. But what you trust is that hopefully they do what they say. Now the thing is, quite a few will, to an extent, but quite a few won't for the obvious reason of simply using your access to give them access. Your words to give them access. Okay, hold up. One second. I was worried about where the Twitch box would need to go, but now I know. Not over there. Okay, get the first level of decryption to have access to sabotage, overheat nearby enemy weapons, and burn them for minimum damage or minor damage. Yeah. See, and as you can see, I didn't make any renegade choices, but my renegade bar already has points in it because I chose Earth. And there's a reason for it. It'll be explained later. Alright, let's unlock pistols. Focus on pistol training. Upgrade my throw. 650 newtons. Caden, upgrade his sentinel class. Special training allows sentinels to use tech and biotics more efficiently than other classes. Reduce recharge time of tech and biotics and increase damage and accuracy with pistols. That is not insignificant. Yeah, we'll go there. We'll go there. Shield boost, restore 30% of your shield per second. Assault training's adrenaline burst. Resets the cooldown times on all your talents so they can be used immediately. That's a soldier trait specifically. And I'll throw the rest into health and health regen for you. Instead of being a 6% health increase and 3.5 regen, it's 10% health increase and 4.5 regen. And I'll take every drop. Huh. Guess there's a couple of birds chirping.
Saren's hiding something. Give me more time. Stall them.
Stall the council? Don't be ridiculous. Your investigation is over, Garrus.
Commander Shepard, Garrus Vicarian. I was the officer in charge of the CSEC investigation into Saren.
Who was that?
Who were you just talking to?
That was Executor Palin, head of Citadel Security, my boss. He'll be presenting my findings on Saren to the council.
Interesting. Alright. You seem not to like him.
Sounds like you really want to bring him down.
I don't trust him. Something about him rubs me the wrong way. But he's a Spectre. Everything he touches is classified. I can't find any hard evidence.
I think the council's ready for us, Commander.
Good luck, Shepard. Maybe they'll listen to you.
See, and then this is somebody who's here investigating. And this might be something he do.
You don't want to keep the council waiting.
And he can't find nothing on Saren. You honestly think these people are going to believe what a dock worker says? Who's kind of sketchy anyway? But the only reason why he's sketchy is just because he takes naps at work sometime. But at the end of the day, that one bit of sketch is all somebody needs to never trust a thing you say. That's how weird people are, but that's just the way it is. Unlock that one. My thing is, well, hold on. Let's go through this. They might poke at it.
Hearing's already started. Come on.
The Geth attack is a matter of some concern, but there is nothing to indicate Saren was involved in any way.
The investigation by Citadel Security turned up no evidence to support your charge of treason.
An eyewitness saw him kill Nihilus in cold blood.
We've read the Eden Prime reports, Ambassador. The testimony of one traumatized dock worker is hardly compelling proof.
I resent these accusations. Nihilus was a fellow Spectre and a friend.
That just let you catch him off guard.
Captain Anderson, you always seem to be involved when humanity makes false charges against me. And this must be your protege, Commander Shepard, the one who let the beacon get destroyed.
Going into this with prior history with Saren is gonna make this conversation and this investigation a problem. And in terms of protege, the one who let the beacon get destroyed. Interesting. You know, setting aside the fact that we obviously know it was you, that's the emotional standpoint. We need to be careful here. So how are you aware of something that only a few people knew? That we had to rush out there with a secret ship that was still being tested. How did you know?
The mission to Eden Prime was top secret. The only way you could know about the beacon was if you were there.
With Nihilus gone, his files passed on to me. I read the Eden Prime report. I was unimpressed. But what can you expect from a human?
Interesting. I'm going to ignore that insult. His files passed to you, and the council didn't disagree, so this happens. But why did you specifically get the file? Is it because you would be the next one to get the file? As in, you're his best, you're the best, Nihilus was the second best or something? Or he was high up enough that whatever got him killed, you obviously, but whatever got him killed would require the skills of somebody even higher. Otherwise, it's not going to pan out well. You couldn't bring a couple of people at his skill level and solve the problem. You needed a demon. Him hating us is not justification enough for him supposedly attacking us. People can hate you all they want so long as they don't put their hands on you.
Saren despises humanity. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
Your species needs to learn its place, Shepard. You're not ready to join the Council. You're not even ready to join the Spectres. He has no right to say that. That's not his decision.
Shepard's admission into the Spectres is not the purpose of this meeting.
This meeting has no purpose. The humans are wasting your time, Counselor, and mine.
Homeboy played his courtroom well, and we went in there quite literally with our thumb up our asses, protecting them. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, honestly. If it was you on the chopping block, don't expect them to fight any less hard. Now, whether they specifically would for a human is a different argument. But if it was you...
You can't hide behind the Council forever.
There is still one outstanding issue. Commander Shepard's vision. It may have been triggered by the beacon.
Are we allowing dreams into evidence now? How can I defend my innocence against this kind of testimony?
I agree. Our judgment must be based on facts and evidence, not wild imaginings and reckless speculation.
Do you have anything else to add, Commander Shepard?
I didn't mention that because of Saren. I mentioned that because of the beacon. Saren is an afterthought in that regard. In terms of what else I have to say, as I had already stated, we lost. It is what it is. The only thing we can do is move smarter.
You've made your decision. I won't waste my breath.
The Council has found no evidence of any connection between Saren and the Geth. Ambassador, your petition to have him disbarred from the Spectres is denied.
I'm glad to see justice was served.
This meeting is adjourned.
We went in there with too many unknowns. Nobody knew what the other had in their pocket.
Bringing you into that hearing, Captain. You and Saren have too much history. It made the Council question our motives.
I know Saren. He's working with the Geth for one reason. To exterminate the entire human race. Every colony we have is at risk. Every world we control is in danger. Even Earth isn't safe.
I agree. More than likely that's going to be what his issue is, but the point remains. We can't just go after him like that. We do. They could potentially rally all of the specters against Earth. I don't think we can handle it like that. Especially if they decide to throw the Citadel fleet after it. How do you know him?
Tell me about this history between you and Sarah.
I worked with him on a mission a long time ago. Things went bad. Real bad. We shouldn't talk about this here. But I know what he's like. And he has to be stopped.
Well, what do we do?
As a Spectre, he's virtually untouchable. We need to find some way to expose him.
What about Garrus, that CSEC investigator? We saw him arguing with the Executor.
That's right. He was asking for more time to finish his report. Seems like he was close to finding something on Saren.
It does sound interesting. He could be useful.
Any idea where we could find him?
I have a contact in CSEC who can help us track Garrus down. His name is Harkin.
Forget it. They suspended Harkin last month, drinking on the job. I won't waste my time with that loser.
You won't have to. I don't want the Council using your past history with Saren as an excuse to ignore anything we turn up. Shepard will handle this.
Captain does deserve better. But right now, this ain't about what's deserved. We have a problem that needs to be solved, and we need to solve it quickly. The longer this goes on, the worse it gets, and now Saren knows that not only have I used the beacon, but I'm here, still alive, and I'm accusing him of things, which puts a target on his back. Even if he is seen as innocent right now, eyes are on him. He has to move quicker and more carefully now, and that's going to be hard to do.
I'll take care of it.
I need to take care of some business. Captain, meet me in my office later.
Harkin's probably getting drunk at Cora's Den. It's a dingy little club in the lower section of the wards.
Okay. Any other leads? Any other ideas?
Maybe there's another way to find evidence against Sarah.
You should talk to Barla Vaughn over in the financial district. Rumor has it he's an agent for the Shadow Broker.
The Shadow Broker?
An information dealer. Buys and sells secrets to the highest bidder. I've heard Barla Vaughn's one of the top representatives. He might know something about Saren, but his information won't come cheap.
Interesting. So, what's going on between the council and the ambassador?
Our ambassador doesn't seem to get along with the council.
He's just frustrated. The council's always preaching that we need to be part of the galactic community. But for them, it's a one-way street. They want us to expand and settle unstable regions like the Skillian Verge and the Attican Traverse. But when we run into trouble, they don't want to help us out. Everyone knows it's only a matter of time until we get a seat on the council. The ambassador just thinks it should happen sooner rather than later. And I agree.
It's a one-way street. So they told us to take, what was it, that one planet that y'all spoke of. They told us to expand out like that. Yeah, they told us to expand out into Eden Prime, and then to take it, and then left us to flounder. Is that what you saying? Because if memory serves, that conversation stated something about you not being there. But then we chose to do what we tend to do. Like, bro, I can respect the desire to want to be on the council to make sure humanity doesn't get shafted. But I'm going to keep it real. All I'm hearing is we've got to do this so we can be the ones doing the shafting. That's all I'm hearing. Counselor thinks it should be sooner. So do I. Okay. We going to earn it? Because to me it sounds like y'all want access to the council now for existing. And we hear enough about my existence should be enough in all you need. My presence is enough in all you need down here, enough as it is. We are too independent. We do need our independence, but we are a little bit too independent.
Maybe they'd let us join the council if we were more willing to cooperate with the other species.
Of course they would. If we did everything they told us to, they'd love to have us on the council. But it wouldn't be much of a deal for us.
Which is why we
I understand
don't.
their side. They don't want us dominating the council. It's founded on cooperation and alliances. But we have to look out for our own interests too.
As I said, I'm completely fine with that. But that does not mean that we lowball these people just because we don't want them lowballing us. I'm gonna get you before you get me, okay? Heard a quote once, the only problem with an eye for an eye is that eventually everybody ends up blind. If you get me before I even think about getting you, before getting you is even in my plans, all you done is start something. And I'm not gonna lie, that's all I'm hearing from you. It's just us needing to start shit. If you want to command the entire known legal civilization, we had better earn it. Period. What do you know about Harkin?
You don't think much of Harkin.
The guy joined CSEC about 20 years ago. He's been an embarrassment to our species ever since. Roughing up suspects in custody, bribery accusations, alcohol and drug use. The embassy used to step in when he got in trouble. But I guess enough was enough.
Okay. Embarrassment to our species ever since 20 years ago, huh? Interesting. So he got in before we got our embassy, which means we were extremely new on the Citadel, even more so. And that's why they let everything he do slide. We needed, see, this is what I'm talking about. That tokenism nonsense. We needed somebody in the seat. We needed somebody in that suit to say there's a human there. Plenty of people capable of being in CSEC. Hold up. Let me.
The guy joined CSEC about 20 years ago, roughing up suspects in custody.
Yeah.
Bribery
He wasn't even the only one,
alcohol
was
and
he?
drug use.
That was in CSEC
The
that was
embassy
human.
used to step in when he got in trouble.
The guy's a scumbag. He should have been cut loose a long time ago.
He was one of the first human CSEC officers.
Uh-huh.
Guess it would have looked bad if he got fired. Backroom deals were worked out over the years to keep him on the force. Politics is a dirty business sometimes, but it looks like his time's run out. We've got enough humans in CSEC now to stop protecting him.
See. But then you it's not like we the only ones that play this game, but then you wonder why it is other species don't trust us and wonder and expect us to run roughshod over the damn galaxy. What do you know about the Spectres?
I want to know more about the Spectres.
They're not your typical government agency. They tend to work alone, behind the scenes. They take care of problems the Council can't. It's not easy preserving peace across an entire galaxy. The Council prefers to use diplomacy and negotiation. But sometimes more extreme measures are needed.
What's their structure like?
How do they decide who becomes a Spectre?
You can't just apply to join. There's no training program. Spectres aren't made. They're born.
Ugh.
The Council's always looking for exceptional individuals. People who can get the job done. Like you. They've been watching you for years. They see something in you. They want you on their side. Nihilus was supposed to give them a final recommendation. But with him gone, things are still up in the air.
I have always hated that thought process. Spectres aren't made, they're born. Soldiers aren't made, they're born. Okay. So when I roll out 100,000 clones of you, I don't want to hear nothing. Because you are born, not made. I don't need to concern myself with the spirit of the soldier, with the spirit of the individual. All I need to concern myself with is the results. Move, bitch. Get out the way.
What's their command structure like?
There is no command structure. Each Spectre answers directly to the Council. Sometimes they're sent on specific missions. Other times, they act on their own. They tend to operate outside the law, do whatever it takes to accomplish their goals. The Council just turns a blind eye. Spectres have a lot of power.
Convenience tends to make a lot of people ignore a lot. So what about if one goes too far then?
What happens when a Spectre goes rogue? Like Saren?
It doesn't happen often. The Council is careful when they select their candidates. But when something does go wrong, there's usually only one solution. Send another Spectre to bring the rogue agent down.
That's Spectre Justice. Quoting Jenkins again. So this is illegal, huh?
They sound like shadow operatives.
Everything about them is classified. We don't even know how many there are. The latest Alliance estimate puts their numbers under 100. But the Council couldn't do its job without them. They're the Citadel's top agents, the last line of defense, the final option before open war. The entire galaxy respects and fears them. If a Spectre shows up, you know something big is about to happen.
Well, there it is. So what about this Barlavon?
Tell me about Barlavon.
He specializes in moving large sums of money without leaving a paper trail. A financial genius. Doesn't do anything illegal, but he knows all the loopholes. He's got an impressive client list. Ambassadors, diplomats, Spectres. That's probably why the Shadow Broker uses him.
If he has ambassadors and diplomats, there's no way he wouldn't be messing with Spectres. Especially since the Council turns a blind eye to what Spectres do. So what about... Oh, no, not yet. So what about this Shadow Broker?
Tell me more about the Shadow Broker.
He's a necessary evil of galactic politics. Buying and selling information is a part of the game. And the Shadow Broker just happens to be the best player on the field. Always sells to the highest bidder. Doesn't get involved in politics. Doesn't pick sides. A simple system, but it works. He's not a threat to anyone, not directly. He's just a resource we can use, or she is. Or maybe they are. Nobody really knows.
Nothing like a network of information brokers to muddy the waters and also leave themselves too valuable to be touched. Groups like that have their uses. They tend to be extremely dangerous for the obvious reasons, though. So, Captain, this issue between you and Saren, what is it?
You and Saren have a history. What happened?
About 20 years ago, I was part of a mission in the Skillian Verge. I was working with Saren to find and remove a known terrorist threat. Saren eliminated his target, but a lot of people died along the way, innocent people. And the official records just covered it all up. But I saw how he operates. No conscience, no hesitation. He'd kill 1,000 innocent civilians to end a war without a second thought.
Interesting. Without a second thought, huh? That is vicious. That is quite vicious. Sometimes you may be forced to make hard choices, but you know, at least you think about it a bit. And the only reason why you wouldn't think about it more is because you literally don't have time.
Killing innocents doesn't end wars. It causes them.
Exactly.
I know how the world works, Commander. Sometimes you're forced to make unpleasant decisions.
Yeah.
But only if there's no other way.
Exactly.
Saren doesn't even look for another option. He's twisted, broken. He likes the violence, the killing. And he knows how to cover his tracks.
I should go.
Good luck, sir. I'll be over in the ambassador's office if you need anything else.
That's interesting. A quiet hammer. Not used to that. A quiet bludgeon. He don't like to make noise, but he likes to leave messes.
That guy's up to something.
What guy?
The one over by the Keeper.
Okay, does it matter? Let him get his ass locked up. Girl, you just looking for problems, ain't you?
Not enough data yet. What? Oh, no, I wasn't. Never mind. Yes, is there something you want?
I mean, you'd obviously need to worry about the keepers, but I kind of doubt it. Especially since we hear about them being replaced. Whether there's a limit is another conversation. But who are you and what are you doing?
Why are you so interested in the Keepers?
Keepers? I've got no interest in the...
Don't get coy. I know what I saw.
I'm not so sure I should be talking to you about this.
She say, hey, I hit people with stuff. You better say something to me. Why not tell me what's up?
We're just talking. Is there something wrong with that?
No. I guess it wouldn't hurt to tell you. I'm using a small scanner to gather readings on the Keepers. So far I've had mixed results. I find it difficult to get near the creatures.
Interesting. Why bother lying about it?
Why were you being so secretive about it, though?
Well, technically we're not supposed to disturb the Keepers. I don't really think my scanning disturbs them, but the authorities might disagree. I'd like to do it more openly, but it's not really worth getting arrested over.
Interesting. You know what? Let me do this.
I could help you out. I'm not worried about the authorities.
I don't even know who you are.
I'm with the
I'm
Alliance.
Commander Shepard, with the Alliance military.
Well, I suppose I could use the help. You'll need this. It's the scanning device I developed. Activate it each time you see a Keeper. All collected data will automatically upload to my database. I'll even send a few credits your way for each unique scan.
Cool. But why are you doing this?
What are you doing with the data once you've scanned it?
Trying to learn whatever I can about the Keepers. We see them working everywhere, yet we know so little about them. I'm a scientist. I want to know what makes them tick.
I can get behind this. I can get behind that. 1 second.
I should get going then.
Yes, I have much work myself. So long, and good luck with the scanning.
Jesus. I don't know what happened in terms of the audio. It's one of them worst instances I've ever had to deal with. But yeah, I have no problem with that. We need to know about these things anyway. And especially since if your scanner doesn't do harm and makes it to where they can actually be learned about, hey, power to you. Nobody would actually, like, the council wouldn't want to hear it. Councils, I've developed a scanner for the Keepers that, really, you've developed a scanner, so you've been messing with the Keepers now, huh? Because how would you even have such a test bed for scans if you haven't been? What have you been doing for the last 6 months there, guy? Huh? And then, of course, as he says, you scan them, you get your Keeper data uploaded, you get your XP, and you get your credits. There's 20 Keepers across the entire Citadel.
No, I'm waiting to speak with one of the Councilor's assistants.
Won't be able to talk to him for a bit.
No, I just want to ask a couple of questions.
Well, I mean, I could talk to him, but like, it won't let me have a conversation. Deep, riveting conversation we just went through right there. Feel like I know that man like he's my father.
The Volus won't be joining the council for years.
I'm not so sure. The humans are making a strong push, and you can bet the Volus will be right on their coattails if they succeed.
Allowing the humans to join us is a sound strategic move. But the Volus? No. The Hanna are likely to be next, then the Elcor.
You may be right, though the Hanar need to lighten up a bit first.
You just don't like them because you have trouble understanding them.
So how's the weather today, fellas, huh? Huh? Bright, sunshiny, insulated inside of a space station day. I'll try and find all these things when I see them. Sometimes they're a little hard to remember. But again, folks, a lot of the Citadel is a lot of running around and talking. Some combat, not yet though. There will of course be instances where we'll come back.
Saren's one of their best operatives. It's only natural they take his word over ours.
Exactly.
Oh, so now we just chase leads while this smug Turian runs around with his Geth troopers.
That's politics, Chief.
I hate politics.
You sound like most people with sense. Nobody likes politics. It tends to be full of shit. But it has its uses, irritatingly. That's why we can't really get rid of it.
Please do not disturb the keepers.
Okay. Well, folks, it's gonna be the end of episode 2 of Mass Effect 1 Legendary Edition. If you folks like what you see and want to see more of me, give me a like, follow, a subscribe here on YouTube or both. Drop a comment. Check out some of the playlists. Share around some of the other playlists. Follow the links from my Twitch to get to my YouTube. Follow the links from my YouTube to get to my Twitch. And wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon.